life is not normal. It's not no model that I want a mirror to follow, a money to follow, cadence to follow. Okay. And I don't think their mothers would either.
So what are you saying? What is that saying about me? I'm your husband.
Well,
you basically saying you wouldn't want my sons to be like me. Don't sit here in front of the world, in front of a medium, and say, oh, I wouldn't want my sons or your sons to be like you. So some things are better left unsaid. Okay.
Greetings, ladies, gents, polite savages. Welcome to another Tip Talk. What do we have today? A reaction to a video I seen about Yung Joc and his wife and her public disrespect of him and him defending himself.
I just don't want to appear to look weak and look like I'm being lied to and manipulated by somebody who's supposed to be my husband, my rock, and my protector. But being a provider and a protector, it does not make it okay to be a liar, a cheater, a womanizer. No, it doesn't.
Everybody
ain't did what you did.
Everybody ain't did what you did.
So don't try to, I know, but don't try to normalize what you have done. Your life is not normal. It's not no model that I want a mirror to follow, a money to follow, cadence to follow.
Okay.
Not. Okay. And I don't think their mothers would either.
So what are you saying? What is that saying about me? I'm your husband.
Well,
you basically saying you wouldn't want my sons to be like me.
For those who don't know, Yung Joc is a Atlanta-based rapper, reality television star, famous for the 2006 hit Going Down, and a guest verse on T-Pain's Buy You a Drink. It's Going Down was a global hit. I recall with my tribal brothers in Thailand, got to give a shout out real quick. Flossberg, Lee, Micah, and T all jocking and clowning in Thailand till It's Going Down. Those were the days. So just to say it the least, it was lit. Salute to the OGs, to the tribal gang. Recently, Yung Joc has been a reality television star on Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta with his wife, Kendra Robinson, who's actually an attorney. I believe they were actually married on a show. But what I want to talk to you about is how times have changed, how public displays of affection, public displays of what's going on in your life is so common now, how pulling the curtain back and showing your dirty laundry to the entire world is so commonplace. But one thing that is really commonplace is the blatant disrespect that men, and black men in particular, have endured during this process.
Don't sit here in front of the world, in front of a medium, and say, oh, I wouldn't want my son or your sons to be like you. Hold on.
I want to say it again to all my polite savages out there. Men are directly disrespected in ways that they've never been, while women, we can talk about women in general, but we cannot talk about a woman in specific. In this episode, Yung Joc's wife said specifically she did not want her kids to turn out like him. Now, Yung Joc is not an angel, has a lot of kids by a lot of different women. But once again, if you meet a man with kids from a lot of different women, I think he's up to 12 kids now on his Nick Cannon thing, apparently. Up to those 12 children, and you decide to marry a man with 12 children from different women, then you must understand that your child is going to have to deal with a lot of stepbrothers, a lot of babies' moms, and there is some baggage that comes along with it. Once again, we must vet how we choose. Why is it so easy for Black women to disparage a Black man like this in public? Well, I believe it's the direct result of being independent, strong, don't need anybody. It's funny because independent means by yourself, which a lot of people will end up. You know, shout out to Kevin Samuel, buy a cat, die alone. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, thought it was rude, but let's be honest with ourselves. Whether it's a heavy-handed approach or not, this independent mind state and being alone is not the lick once you get older. And when people find each other, like Yung Joc and Kendra Robinson, they are the modern day power couple that everyone dreams about. Everyone dreams about, well, he's successful and she's a lawyer. Everyone dreams about this and they're getting together and make it work. And yes, families have problems. What I don't understand is, once again, the dirty laundry in the public.
That's where we have to draw the line.
Okay.
Because I don't care because the camera in front of me or somebody asking me questions. I'm not going to reveal my everything that go on with me. So some things are better left unsaid and in the private, and that's what I'm going to do. So when you addressing me, don't ever make it seem like I'm the worst of the worst, because I'm not.
Okay.
Because I came through and changed your life. So when you talk about me and address me, please be mindful of that, because I love you for who you are. But I would never say to the world that I wouldn't want my daughters to be like you, because then it makes me question, why are you with me?
The truth is, all families have things that they go through. No marriage, no relationship, no interaction with a human being is going to be perfect. But we are not and should not be litigating these in public. There's a lot of reality television families out there. House of Ho was something that I was watching. Shout out to ScottT. I was like, there's some rich Vietnamese people in Texas. Let me watch it. And yes, they did have their trials and tribulations, but there was a part that I found interesting. Never did I see them intentionally disparage the men of the household. It's almost like a respecting. And then I started thinking about it. I grew up in the Bay Area for most of my life with a lot of folks who are just different. Different people from different cultures. Arabic, Fiji, Polynesian, Samoan. Aloha to my brothers out there. Tongan, Mexican, Persian, Jordanian, all of these races I can name off. And I've seen them all in one way or another have some type of family issue, but they solve the issues in the house. So yes, Asian people, you don't see them going out to a public market to disparage their other partner. You don't see Mexican folks doing this. Very rarely do you see white people do it. But we do see this a lot with the Black culture. And there's something rotten in Denmark when we have to think, why does this happen so much? We need to correct ourselves. This is a direct issue that we have that must be improved. It still blows my mind that it's so common for us to be comfortable criticizing our significant others in the public square. To me, it's just advertising. Like, hey, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be available. But this is another reason why people are breaking up and marriages are dissolving so easily. When someone says they're strong and independent, what I hear is that I don't need to be with you, I want to be with you. But what we all know in life is that your wants change. So if my want to be with you change and I don't need you, then I'm going to leave you as soon as my feelings change or it's convenient for me. And this is why we have a 60% failure in marriage rate. What's really interesting is that when people start realizing that this is going on and men start leaving, the passport bro thing has been going on for a while and it's all hot. But in reality, we've been traveling for so many years and most of my friends actually married foreign women. A lot of the brothers from the travel group married women from different parts of the world. And they did that because they were tired of the Western mentality. The Western mentality that we're strong, independent, don't need a man. The Western mentality that says that it's okay to publicly shame you. The Western mentality that says, well, listen, I'm all that's needed in this relationship and just to have access to my body is enough. So give me all your resources. I'm not gonna cook, not gonna clean up this house, but I expect you to support the house and you should be lucky to be around me. This has to stop. One of the things that I really want to talk about in brief is how the Black image has been under assault and how folks like Kevin Samuels did such a good job defending it to the point where the average Black woman was celebrating when he passed. I want to say this again. A man passed. Women that didn't know him just heard talking points from him, just heard him say something that didn't make them feel good, celebrated. I still can't get over it. And it's been quite a few months. I know it's old news, but I was looking at some old Kevin Samuels clips. And one of the clips that really stuck out to me was when a lady said there's just such limited good options for Black men.
The options are very low for Black women.
What do you mean? Hold on, whoa, stop right there. You're gonna have to justify that. What do you mean?
I'm justifying in terms of there's a lot of good men that are locked up.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there, man. Okay. I need to stop you right there. I need to stop you right there. I need you to pay attention. 51% of black men are single and childless. 64% are in the middle class. So you can go ahead and take that 1980s talking point back over to color purple land, because that is factually inaccurate and untrue according to black people statistics. Go to blackdemographics.com, saying as though you want to, oh, those are white folks, then go to blackdemographics.com, black statistics for black people about black people, and they'll show you.
And most of black men are in jail. And Kevin Samuels counteracted that with blackdemographics.com facts, letting her know that 51% of black men were single and childless. And 62% of black men were firmly in the middle class. 30% of black men were married. So if you take a 51% who's single and 30% who's married, they're not making single. So if you're single and childless, and then the gentleman, that other second group we talked about was married, you have 81% of folks who are not making childs, not making people babies, fathers. So what's really going on? Well, the math is simple. And this is what we've been trying to tell folks forever. You have less than 20% of the population fathering and siring child after child after child. The Yung Joc situation is one of them. He has multiple children by multiple different women. Nick Cannon, anyone? Yes, we're talking about millionaires, but for every 2 millionaires that we could point out living this crazy lifestyle, you could think of 25 non-millionaires doing it. We have an obvious vetting process issue in our community. Why do we have this issue? Because we've gotten away from the gentleman helping. We've gotten away from seeing that the gentleman in the community as a resource of wisdom and knowledge to let you know what men are thinking. Men can see through men's BS. And as long as we don't see men as a valuable resource in the community, we will continue to have catastrophes like this with this doofy broad telling a man who's so successful, supportive, and for even her words has integrity, saying that I don't want my kids to be like you in public on national television to get clout and ratings. So what do you guys think about this? This has been a Tip Talk. Hit us back on the ground under THPP Network and let us know what you think. Until then, like and subscribe, check the videos, and once again, ask yourself one major question. Can you handle the tip? Boom, booty in your face. G's out. This is the Happiness Podcast. I'm Grover.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. I'm Scotty.
This motherfucker right here, boy. Leave your comments and like and subscribe on YouTube. Booty in your face.
We found true happiness.